Hello everyone, so I thought from the chat I did a couple of days ago on Monday at 12 o'clock, I said I'm going to be doing some sort of tax sort of thing. But I thought, well, an easiest way to show how I deal with my taxes and how I do my paperwork was I'm going to run you through my procedure of what I do for when I sell an item on eBay. After this there'll be one later on for Bricklink and Amazon sort of thing. But for now I'm just going to concentrate surely on eBay. So I'm now going to flick the screen over. I'm going to be in the top corner, and then I'm going to talk you through what happens as soon as I get a sale, what processes I go through before shipping, and then what I do after I actually ship that product out with my postage fees and that sort of thing. So let's just cut on and let's go ahead now. Okay, so you're now looking at my I'm looking at the camera, but you're not really looking at the camera. You're looking at the screen, really, aren't you? So you're looking at the screen, and you can see at 10 o'clock on the 9th of May, currently I have 3 sales. Usually I do my sales I do all my postage at 1:30, 2 o'clock. So there's more sort of thing, and I do it at the same time every single day of the week. But for today, I'm just going to do it at this time. So I might have a few more sales throughout the day, but I'm not going to be able to deal with. I'll deal with those separately. So I've got 3 sales. So the first thing I need to do then is print those invoices out. Yeah, so I'm going to print those invoices out, and I click onto this one here. So I highlight them all. I always I ship postage labels, packing labels and everything and for my own records, and then I'll just go on to the print. I'm going to print them now. All those names you're going to be seeing are going to be blacked out, so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. So once they're printed, then that's the easy job. I just highlight everything and then just print everything out. So I've got 3 things coming over, and as soon as they're printed, I separate them to invoices for me, and so 2 copies always come out. So I have 1 copy for the customer with their address, labels and their information, so their receipts if they want to return it, and that they've got all the paperwork, or if they're accounts people like me, they're buying it for something else, they've got a receipt. So I've got that there, and I've also got the invoice for me. So that's the first thing I do. I print them all out and separate them all. So once I've done that, I then take their sheets and have a quick look at them to work out where they are. I've got some baby shoes, which I know inside the outside store. I've got a Mega Drive game, which I know is inside the inside games store, and then I've also got a PlayStation 2 Guitar Hero bundle, which is also inside the indoor game store. So I separate them 2, so I don't have to go backwards and forwards and try to find stuff. I just grab the whole sheet, which I've got to go to outside, and then do little inside stuff. So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut the video now quickly. I'm going to go over there and pick up these items ready for selling. Okay, so I've printed off the labels now. And I've just packed all the stuff, so everything's all packed up and all labelled up, and that's the stuff ready to go. The next process I need to do now is pay for my postage. So I've recently set up my click and drop account. So I've only been using it for a couple of weeks now. I've had a few teething problems at the start, but now it's all sorted. I see here, so I go to my click and drop, and I've got my free orders. So I click on my free orders, where 2 of them are going to be parcels and 1's a large letter. So I'm going to I'm going to select my 2 parcels on there. If I had more, I'd select more. And then go down to apply postage. It's asked me for the package weight. So I use my scales, my electronic scales. I've just weighed them. I weigh all the packages and divide it by how many there are. So it came to 1.95 kilograms, and divide that by 2, and that gives me a total of 0.975. So that's under a kilo. So this is really light. this was 1.6, but because I've divided them up, both of them now come under a kilo, so I've only got to pay under a kilo for the big parcel as well. So sometimes this sort of works itself out. So I put inside there, what was it? I can't remember what it was now. 975 grams. So there we go. So 975 grams. It's a parcel. I now wanted to go Royal Mail 48. Click onto there and apply that. So that's those two postage already done for me. Next I need to do is the cartridge. So I've already tested this. It's all packed and sealed, and that fits through my normal sizing chart. So because I've only got one parcel, I'm not going to send it 48, so I'm not going to bag it as a waste of a bag. So all I generally do now, if I've only got one large letter going out, I'll just do that normal second class post. So apply this. Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to weigh that. I weighed everything else and I forgot to weigh this. So let's quickly weigh this now. And it's going to... There we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so that's 65 grams. So I always put an extra few grams on just for those sort of thing over there. So 70 grams. Under there, I want that to go the second class letter. And apply on there. So that is now my postage done. The next job I need to do now is just print off the labels. So once I've done that, I go back to my dashboard. Now they were in new orders, they're now inside orders ready for printing. So if I wasn't going to do this video now, I'd probably just wait for the whole lot to go over. I select them all, generate labels, and I click go. Yeah, so I don't have a thermal printer as of yet, but the Royal Mail do give you free labels. When I first signed up for it, during my how to get free stuff off the Royal Mail, this is 6x4 thermal printing labels. So if I've got a 6x4 printer, I can use these. I've got loads of these because they sent me all sort of on there. So that's all done. So I'll just print these off now. Let's quickly flick this on here. Wait for them to print. See, they come on my labels. The barcode is basically, as soon as they scan that, that tracks the whole system along the way, and that's registered to me. So let's just print these off. For now, I just print them all onto one sheet of A4. I just print one label per A4 sheet of paper. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. I've got a laser printer, so it doesn't cost me too much really in printing on there. Yes, you see now, yes, that's my label on there. So all I'm going to do is cut them out and stick them onto the right parcels. So that's that job. So that's that job done. Right, the next thing I need to do then is, what I tend to do now is, on my invoices, if I was paying for postage, if I was sending it through Hermes or Interparcel or UPS or Parcel Force, I would write on the bottom of this how much I pay for postage. Because I now use the Royal Mail click and drop thing, I get invoiced once a month, so I don't have to worry about putting the postage down. All I do now is just file that into my little filing drawer, which is just there. Yeah, so I file that into the month's file drawer. At the end, the first of next month, I'll take all the invoices out of there. So all the invoices so far, I'll take them out of that, and I'll then move on to the next system, which is this one here. So this is my template. This is last year's tax return. I haven't done this year's one yet because it's the first month. I haven't actually really got round to start doing any postage yet. That's all of April's and that. Once I get onto this sheet, this is how I record all my eBay sales at the end of the month. So let's just take one of the parcels just now. I'm going to go through how I do one of them. I'm going to delete it on here. So this is for the Wii Guitar Hero. So the first thing I'll do, I'll put them all into date order. Once I put them to date order, I would then start putting the information in. So the date of this sale was the 9th of the 5th, 17. You can see it says 16 on the top. This is last year's sheet, which I'm just using. Camera's running out of battery, so I don't know how long it's going to last. I'll just save this here. Okay, I've just plugged the camera in now to the computer, so we've got a bit of power coming through. So once I put the date of the item in, I'll then put the item description. So this was a PS2 guitar and game bundle, wireless. Yeah, so I know for later on, if I ever get orders, I know I can pick it up straight away. Quantity, they bought one of those bundles. Sale price was $19.99. Item cost, I used to put item cost in these to work out other things, but now I buy that much stuff, I don't really tend to bother with item cost anymore. Sometimes I put it in if I can remember it, but it doesn't affect anything to do with any of my profit sales. It's just a completely separate entity, just so I get a reference for myself at a later date. But you don't really need to worry about using that one whatsoever, because I've got a separate sheet for all my item costs. Because basically, I don't take off the item costs off the individual sale. I put it as a bulk at the end of the month. I add all my items which I pay, and at the end of the month, and take it off my overall profits. That's how I do it. So shipping received, I got $2.99 shipping received for this. Shipping cost, as I say, if I post it via a different means, a Hermes or something like that, I would put those costs inside that. But for now, because I'm doing this for the click and collect, that's going to be free, because I get invoiced at the end of the month. PayPal fees, I set this up automatically, so it automatically does a percentage for PayPal, and it also, if you notice underneath this, it's got 20p as well, and I have to pay 20p for every PayPal transaction I do. So it automatically does 20p plus all of the sums and that sort of thing go in there. PayPal currency, if it's a GSP program, you have to pay a little bit extra on top of your PayPal fees to cover the currency exchange rates. So all I quickly do then, I just flick onto PayPal, have a quick look at the PayPal transaction. It tells me the exact amount, and all I do then, I take off these fees, I take off this fee from this fee to give me what's left over there. So net profit, I got £22 from that little sale, because I've got postage sort of on it. And that's it. And all I do then, I just go down to the next one. I just list them all down at the end of the month. Other things I've got on this sheet as well, because it's saying minus 48, because it's got all these 20p's, I've got a whole list of them just going all the way down, and then I just delete all the ones which I don't need at the end. I've also got on this sheet, on this side over here, how many items I've sold that month, gross sale, items cost. So if I do put in the item costing, it gives me roughly how much I've spent that month, but it doesn't really affect me. But postage received, shipping costs, PayPal fees, PayPal currency, eBay fees. So at the end of the month, when I pay my fees, I put that in there, and any expenses. The expenses sheet, anything I buy during the month which isn't stock. Yeah, so stock comes on one main thing: fuel, electricity, gas, rent, dead stock, anything like that. Business expenses come over here. I've also got FBA songs on here. If I click onto one of the ones which I've already sort of finished a little bit off, I'm sort of working my way through. You can see on here that I had 2 payments for FBA. Bricklink £129, total expenses £1,400 on this month. I got all my sort of stuff, sort of mannequins and all those sort of extra things going in there. I sold 93 things in March. So this month I spent 2,200 on stock. Yeah, that's when I'm buying loads of Lego and things like that. So it gives me some idea of what I'm going. So when I'm doing my accounts at the end of the year, I just got to flick these onto these, and what I've done a profit and loss summary sheet, adds it all up and gives me how much I've made and how much I've lost and sort of thing over there. I'm still working stuff out. I'm at a loss at the moment. This is last year's tax returns. I'm nowhere near at a loss because I've still got a load of months to plough through and sort it all out. But this is a nice little sheet which I use. I find it quite easy to use. Once I've set all my formulas up, I just put the information in and just print it out. With FBA, I just print off my summary sheets at the end of every time I get a payment come to me, I print off the summary sheet, and that tells me how much I'm getting paid, and that's all I worry about with that. because FBA gives me a breakdown of everything, how much I've sold, what the fees are and that sort of stuff. All I'm worried about is the net fee, and that is what I add to my tax returns at the end of the month. Same with Bricklink. I've got a separate sheet for this for Bricklink. I'll be doing a completely separate video on how I do my Bricklink sort of stuff coming over. When I go, I'm going to film that actually in my Bricklink store, just so you can see sort of things sort of coming over there. I don't think there's anything else really to talk through about these expensive sheets. Some people do rent, some people fill it out in books and that sort of thing. Number one, which I might go through actually, is when I actually buy the stuff. So let's go into my expenses sheet for this month. So as I said, how it works on here. So this is how I log my stuff. So when I buy stuff, it gets put onto this sheet here. So we can see that from April this year, I've bought a Nintendo Wii wheel, where the price I paid, location, and the date I bought it. Also, anything from eBay or car boots, bubble wrap. I've also got my Easy Pro buffing pads, just a replacement sort of stuff from eBay. Anything that says eBay or FBA, I also print off the receipts. Oh, excuse me. My invoices directly from eBay and that as well, and I file everything. All my receipts get filed into a concertina folder and labelled January, February, March, so all the way through. So if I do get audited, I can just pull. It'll have a sticker on here saying this month's on it. I can just pull those receipts, all the receipts I do have, and they can correspond those receipts with my spreadsheet, which I can print off for them or email them off, sort of on here. I try to cover myself as much as I can. I know you can't get receipts a load of time from car boot sales and Gumtree and that sort of thing, so that's why I try to keep as accurate records as possible. So when if I ever do get audited, I can actually produce as much evidence as physically possible of all things which I pay for and that thing. So that is it. So that is how I run my business, sort of on there. And I just add it up. So if I, let's say, load up one of the ones from last month, you can see, oh, yeah, totals, all I've done there at the bottom, I've just added it all up. So in January this year, I spent £900 on stock. I also spent another £118 on storage for equipment for the Bricklink store and that sort of thing. Miles, 97 miles, sort of driving around, going to the post office and that sort of stuff. Any stationery, £33 for stationery. So when I'm doing everything, I can actually account and break it all up as well. If you keep on top of it, it's nice and easy. If you don't keep on top of your accounts, when you get to January 31st next year, you're going to really struggle. So I'm halfway through last year's returns sort of on there, and starting from this year I'm actually doing it monthly, so it's going to be so much more easier, so I'm not have to do it in one foul swoop. But that's it for now. I've waffled, I don't know how long for, but I hope you found this slightly interesting and see how I actually do my sales returns, and not sales returns, sales accounts, and some sort of snippet into my life as I'm a reseller through my sort of things. You see some of my figures aren't actually great at the moment. I know they're not great. I'm working on those. I say this is currently not my only income. It was going to be my solely income sort of on there, but I thought actually I need to grow it a little bit more. I accepted some extra work from the armed forces. Rhoda's gone out and she works with the school sort of part-time sort of basis as well. So we've got other revenues of income coming in. So I'm not fully relying purely on reselling at the moment. But yes, I try to be as much full-time as I can through this and work my other jobs around this job. At the end of the year, I want to be completely free of everything, and then we can just concentrate purely on the reselling line of life. But thanks again, and I'll see you later on. If you like this video, click like down below. If you want any information on how I use my things, you know, if anyone's interested in my spreadsheets, I'm quite happy. I'm not copyrighted, this is my own spreadsheets, but if anyone wants them, I'll quite happily send you a blank spreadsheet via email to you if you want. No fees, no costs or anything, just if I'm helping someone out. But thanks again, and see you later. Bye for now. Okay, what I did forget to mention, along with the OBA sort of thing, it's how actually what I do once I put the labels on top of it. So once I've done that, I then get one of the mail sacks, which again I get from this website. I'll show you a link onto here as well how to get it. So I put them into the sack. I then got to put out one of my labels. Again, you get this through the free mailing sites for the business account holders, which I've done a video before how to get all this sort of stuff, but I'll also show you where the link is on this site as well. So I'll get that. On the back of it, I need to put my bag number and the account number of what's actually there. You can find your account number by clicking my account, and then if you scroll down the bottom, where on the screen where it says your OBA account, your business account details, that's got your account number and that sort of on there. I then get the cable tie. Again, I get this free from these people as well, so I don't have to pay for cable ties, which is really handy when I'm selling electronics and that sort of thing. I get free cable ties to tie up all the power leads, which is awesome. I'm sort of over there. I bag that into the bag. Hang on, no, before I bag onto the bag, I also need to put another sheet of paper, so manifest. So I need to click into the manifests. And then I've got my... It's not here for some reason. Why don't I have a manifest on here? Let's have a look at batches. I do know what I'm doing, really. There we go. Dispatch, the manifest batch. There we go. Yeah, so this is the one from today. I've got 2 parcels going inside, and what I need to do is just print this off. Yes, I'm confirming that. And what that does, that's basically the receipt to say how many parcels are inside that bag. So I can then just put that into the bag itself. So when the Royal Mail looks at it, they know how many parcels I've actually put inside. I've cleared the weight, and they can check it off to make sure I'm getting billed accordingly. So just print that off. Some post office want you to have 2 of these. My one doesn't even want this paperwork. All I do is just bung it in the bag and just drop it off. Some post office ask you to get them to sign it and that sort of thing. So it's just a case of what your people want to be. I've just realised as well, because I'm plugged into my camcorder, I'm not plugged into my printer now, so it's giving me that little warning. So I'm going to finish this video now, take that off, plug it into the bag, and that is it. And once I've done that, I just seal it up with the label, drop it off at my post office or local depot. Thanks again, and I'll see you later on. Bye for now.